I mean, I think a lot of us have that memory. You can kind of like close your eyes and think about what your Christmas tree looked like when you were growing up. You remember putting the ornaments on, putting the lights up, maybe the music that you listened to. And my family, when it was time to decorate the tree, we always listened to the Jackson 5 Christmas album. Every single year, that was the music. And so the tree is a really big part of the celebration. So you want to have the big, the best, the brightest tree, and you can get it with Home Reflections. This is a color flip tree with fairy lights. So what you're getting is a tree that has the traditional white lights that, a lot of us have used for many, many years, but you also have the option of displaying the colored lights. But you don't have to restring the lights and reconfigure everything. It's all just with the press of a button because you have a handy little remote as well. So you can change from the white to the colored lights by just pressing a single button. We have two choices available for you. You can get the 7.5-foot green tree. That's the one that's beside me. We had other options before, but now green is what's remaining. And then we also have a 9-foot green tree. If you want the 7.5-foot, it's $555.77. And we only have 110 remaining in the 7.5-foot. You've got an easy pay of $111.15. In the 9-foot tree, we have 130 remaining. If you want the 9-foot tree, that one comes home to you for $915.10, and your easy pay is $183.02 to get yours home. H223240 is your item number, and this is just such a great tree. If you have your Q card, you can shop with 12-month special financing, which will break your payments down even further than those easy pays. Really natural looking branches on here, a great tree to get home. There's the 12-month special financing with your Q card, so no extra interest. You're going to be able to just break down that price of $555.77 for the 7.5-foot and just pay that over 12 months. These are loaded with lights, loaded with features, and most important feature is that it is easy to set up. Amy Scaglione is joining us now. She is one of our home decor experts. Amy, it's so great to see you with like the star of the season, of course, the tree.
It is. It's so good to see you too, Vanessa. And I apologize. Things have been flying out so quickly that I'm going to demonstrate it on our beautiful flocked, but I know we're down to just a few choices, which you mentioned at the top there. But Home Reflections is our own QVC brand, and we've really expanded. We're home decor, seasonal decor, textiles, and furniture, but we've really started to hone in on that holiday decor. Last year, we introduced our first tree, and this year we introduced our second. So QVC knows a thing or two about trees. We see it all. And this was sort of the creme de la creme to bring a beautiful tree that offered you tons of light functions in a pretty mid profile. So it's just an absolutely beautiful tree from top to bottom. And also, Vanessa, it really offers you the best in technology. All of the power is going to be housed inside of the pole. So with one plug-in, you're going to be able to control all of that light. One plug-in means that you're not going to be stringing lights and running cords. Also, should a light go out, it features continuous on, which means one light goes out, Vanessa, but you don't lose the whole strand. And setup is so simple. You just drop one section into the next section. It comes with a stand, so the minute you get it home, it's just a matter of moments before you have your tree all put together.
Yes, and Amy, as we were talking about all like the really, great tech features and all the things you can do with this tree, I just want to point out that our tree here in the studio has nothing on it. It's a naked tree. It's just the tree. There's only the lights that come on the tree. So this is what yours will look like when you get it out of the box, you put it up. You don't have to put a thing on it. Look how pretty it looks with nothing on it. I mean, a lot of trees, I feel like that's the test of a true tree, Amy, is when you take it out the box and it's just kind of in its rarest form. How does it look? And this one looks stunning before you even do a thing to it.
That's exactly the point, Vanessa. So, you can make anything look good when you have a designer come in and load it up with a ton of ornaments. The truth is really, the proof is in the pudding. How does it look when there's nothing on it? Is it really sparse, or is it more densely loaded with branches? And definitely all the Home Reflections trees are. They're also loaded with fairy lights. So beautiful white lights, beautiful colored lights. And the reason I chose to stand next to our flock tree, Vanessa, is because I know we're sold out, but I wanted to show you for demonstration purposes how easy it's going to be to put any of our home reflections trees together when you get them home. So, Vanessa, all you're going to do is drop the first section into the stand. You're going to tighten up the eye bolt, and then you're going to begin dropping in your second section, your third section, depending on the height of the tree. So, Vanessa, this is that easy power pole that I was speaking about. So all of the power is housed inside the pole. So everything happens there. We just take that pole, you line it up with that bottom section, drop it in, give it a little bit of a turn, and it lights up from top to bottom. And then you know it's made contact. And also, the beauty of that is not only is there just one cord, but also you're not trying to get those lights perfect. You're not trying to do that wave where you stand back and go, wait a minute, it's a little sparse here. Let me move this light there. And then also from year to year, you're not having to replace another strand of lights. They're ready to go. And your remote control. Yeah, and you have the remote control there, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, I do have the remote control. We have the foot pedal and the remote, which is great.
So there's that on and off, and you have a 6 and 8 hour timer option. Your DM means demo mode, and 1 through 9, those are the options that you're going to have. And as you go through that, you're going to see a variety of light functions, from beautiful colors to a warm white. And then we're going to take a quick look at steady multi. That's going to be an option. Slow fade warm white, then slow fade multi, slow fade warm white to multi. And then snowfall, which from top to bottom gives you this cascading look, which is so cool. Warm white to multi, color flip. So it's going to flip between the two from warm white to a multi. And then a wave warm white. So it looks like a wave of colors from top to bottom. And then a wave multi, that same idea, but done in colors, Vanessa, which is really cool. So all of those light functions are on one remote. You have control with that remote and foot pedal. You can go between one or the other. And then RF means radio frequency. So Vanessa, if you and your hubby are sitting on the sofa and you don't want to get up, clear from across the room, you have a light show.
I know. I feel like you've been looking in on me because I don't want to get up when I'm on the sofa. And usually I'm like to my husband, like, can you plug the tree? And he's like, really? I've got to be the one to get up. And you're the one who wants to see the tree on. But now you can just have the remote handy and just simply go through the functions. Maybe you want the warm white on, then you want the color, and you can just press a button. And it's so easy to change through all of the functions. I do want to remind you of our sizes that we have available. This one, I feel like because I'm short, it makes it look really huge as well. But this is 7.5 feet. I'm just under 5'4", maybe 5'7" with my heels on right now. But look at how big this tree is. Look at the presence of it. Look at how beautiful it looks without anything on it, just the tree. We have 100 remaining. If you want the 7.5 foot, it comes home to you for $555.77. Your easy pay is $111.15. And if you're shopping with your Q card, you do have 12-month special financing. You're saving $83.36 off our usual QVC price if you want to get the 7.5 foot. And this is about 50 inches around, so it has a substantial presence. But you do have the 9 foot available as an option as well. We only have 125 remaining if you want the 9 foot. So if you have higher ceilings, a bigger space, then you can go with the 9 foot. That one comes home to you for $915.10. Your easy pay is $183.02. You're saving $137 off of our usual QVC price. Your 9 foot's going to be 59 inches around, and you can take advantage of that special financing shopping with your Q card on that option as well. H223240 is your item number. And Amy, I'm thinking, like, even if you didn't buy any ornaments, you could save on ornaments because you don't need any with a tree like this, with all of the functions, all of the lights, all of like the fluff, because it's like really big and fluffy. You don't need anything else.
You can stay really minimal. I agree with you. We're looking at the green in the studio. We're looking there at a lot of the different features we can talk about. It was molded after a spruce, and those realistic branches were molded after an actual spruce, so they're going to look really realistic. That fairy light design means that it's going to be loaded with fairy lights from inside to out, top to bottom. Color flip light functions, which we talked about, and there's 10 of them in total from top to bottom on your remote. And 6 and 8 hour timer is controlled by that remote. So set that timer. When you come down in the evening, it'll be ready to go. That memory steel construction is a real favorite of mine. The tree really holds its shape. We talked about the quick, easy setup, which I use this tree to demonstrate on. That memory steel, I want to revisit that really quickly. So, some of your heavier ornaments, if you decide to hang those, or when you take the sections out year after year and you put the tree together, you can be sure that those branches are going to be strong. And they're also super realistic, Vanessa, because they are molded after an actual spruce tree. So the branches are going to, if you notice, Vanessa, how like a child's drawing is like a triangle when they make a Christmas tree, right? And that's
Right.
not realistic. So as you notice, as you're running your hand over the branches, notice how some are more recessed and some of them kind of project out more. That's the way a real tree grows. And also notice those beautiful fairy lights. They're at the tip of the branch, but they follow the branch tip all the way back to the center of the tree, which means it's loaded and hand strung with lights from top to bottom, outermost to innermost. So you're never going to have to string those lights. Now, when you decide to do decorating, if you decide to do that, you can keep it really minimal, or you can load it up with ornaments, and those branches will be able to sustain, some heavier ornaments.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really, to me, Amy, about like memories more than it is the tree because we all remember decorating the tree. You remember when you were a
Yes.
kid, like if you used tinsel, maybe you hung gingerbread ornaments, maybe you made your ornaments with your family, and then you remember all of those experiences. And so if you don't have that tree that's like your best tree, that's nice and fluffy, and that the lights are beautiful, you kind of don't feel that great when you decorate it. You finish and you're kind of like, oh, I thought it was going to look a certain way. And, you can't get the look that you want. This is how you get the look that you want and build those memories with your family, knowing that the ornaments will stay on the branch. I know I remember decorating some years and like the ornaments would fall off the branch and we'd be like, all right, we're getting a new tree next year because this one wasn't sturdy enough. You get the right tree the first time and then you don't have to worry about it year after year after year. H223240 is your item number. This is your 7.5 foot option. You're getting the white lights and the color lights in one tree, and you're just changing it with the click of a remote. I mean, Amy, it couldn't be more simple.
Yeah, couldn't be more simple, and so many different light options between the wave and the color flip. Really, really great options to also have that timer. The other beauty of having an artificial tree, if you've done a real tree, and I have done them many times over the years, is that you eliminate a few things. You eliminate having to constantly sweep up needles. You eliminate the water in the dried out tree. And with having dogs, that was always a problem, always wanting to drink out of the water. You eliminate of having to dispose of a tree and get another one next year. I understand it's a considered purchase and an investment, but it's one that you'll have year after year. And these aren't the trees, Vanessa, that like your parents or grandparents had or my parents had, where each section had to be branch by branch, A into B and C into D and section by section. And then a lot of times you were left with either a warm white or maybe a strand of color. This is all of the best in one tree. And I know we're looking at video where we had the flock, we have sold out of that. But for demonstration purposes, again, I wanted to show you that. The green is classic, it's beautiful, molded after a spruce. And you can see here, look how minimal those decorations are. Some ball ornaments and then just a few others sprinkled about. So it's not even loaded, and you can see the density. It's a full tree and you're not seeing the center. There's that wave option too, which from top to bottom lights up that tree. So pretty.
I mean, I love that you've had real trees, Amy. I've honestly never had a real tree, but I have a faux tree graveyard somewhere because, you pick up the one, maybe it's the last minute, you waited too long, you've got to get whatever's left. If you ran out to the store and then it's just not that great, so you're like, okay, this will do for this year. We'll get a new tree next year. And then maybe you try another one, you see it in the store and it's all like decked out with the ornaments, so it looks really fluffy. And then you get it home and you put it up and it's not that fluffy. And then you're like, okay, we'll try again next year. Well, you don't have to keep doing trial and error when you get a home reflections tree home. We're showing you it with nothing on it. If you just got yours home, opened your QVC box, took it out and put it together, this is what it'll look like with nothing on it. I mean, and you don't have to put anything on it. You could put a star on the top and you would be good to go. And you have all of these different functions. So you can have the white lights, you can have the color lights, you can have the wave effect, pastel lights, all with the press of a button. And there's a foot pedal as well. So you've got all of the technology to enjoy nice sturdy branches so your